You probably have heard of UnderDog best ball drafts, but
That's
have
right.
you heard of UnderDog Pick'ems? This is one of our, like, outside of our weekly fantasy start your lineups, this is one of our favorite weekly fantasy games, and you guys can play it with us as well. Use our promo code LAND, LAND, at
Come on,
underdogfantasy.com,
baby.
link in the description to sign up,
Mm-hmm.
and deposit at least $10 to have your deposit match up to $100. So if you deposit 100, you get $100. Okay, sign up link is in the description. And then what we're going to be doing is each week we're going to be posting in our Discord, which again, link in the description if you want to join our Discord, our pick'ems, and you guys can tell us what you're doing, and then we can see if we win together, if we lose together, whatever the case may be. Couple rules: you have to make at least 2 picks. Okay, one from alternate teams, and you can make up to 5 picks. If you pick 2, your return is 3-1. If you pick
Right.
3, your return is 6-1. If
Mm-hmm.
you pick 4, your return is 10-1, and 5 is 20-1. Payout includes the entry fee being paid back. We like to go 5 picks in our slates, go big or
Or
go home.
baby. Talk it up.
That's right. We did Thursday night slates, so maybe watch that video before if Thursday night hasn't happened yet. But now we're doing the weekend slate. We are picking for all these weekend games. And please keep in mind that sometimes these lines move, as we realized. I prepared yesterday, and now I'm looking at some of these lines, and I'm like, oh my goodness, they moved these lines. All right, but I'm going to go through my picks. Badaki's going to go through his picks. Now, to be clear, do with your money as you want. This is what we're doing.
100%. 100%.
But I'm going to take you through my first pick. And my first pick is actually involving Derrick Henry,
The king.
himself. I am going Derrick Henry higher than 23.5 rushing attempts. Now, this was 23 rushing attempts last night. So, but to be honest, now that I think about it, I mean, that's still the same line. Right? I mean, he just needs to get 24 rushing attempts either way.
It's the same
There's
thing.
there's just not as good of a chance to hit a push. Okay, Derrick Henry higher than
That's funny.
23.5 rushing attempts. He had higher than 23 attempts in 6 of 8 games played in 2021. 75% of the time, he hit higher on this, guys. A.J. Brown, gone. Robert Woods and Treylon Burks, in. You're playing the New York Giants without Kayvon Thibodeau, who last year allowed the 8th most rushing yards per game at 129. For me, this is one of my smashes of the weekend. I mean, maybe if you're playing a team like that's going to keep it a close game, I'd be a little bit more worried. No offense, Badake, but you're playing the New York Giants. I feel like there's going to be so many rushing attempts for Derrick Henry. So give me Derrick Henry higher than 23.5 rushing attempts for my first pick. My second pick, this one is going to be probably the most controversial of all my picks. I wanted to give you guys a lower. It's so easy to hit higher. So I wanted to make sure to try and hit a lower on both of my entries this week. So we're going Devonta Smith. Yesterday, this line was 54.5, and I felt a little more confident. I'm going to ride with what I've researched here. Okay, Devonta Smith, in 8 of 17 games, he had he hit the lower mark 53% of the time is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
So 53% of the time, yesterday, again, I researched for 54.5 yards. But he did not hit that number. So they're playing the Lions. Does anyone else remember this Eagles-Lions game last year? I understand that they're different teams now, but to remind you, the Eagles absolutely blew out the Lions 44-6. Boston Scott, Jordan Howard each had 2 rushing touchdowns. Jalen Hurts threw the ball 14 times in a blowout win. 14 times in a blowout win. Okay.
Sheesh,
Devonta Smith
boy.
had 1 reception for 3 yards, if I'm not mistaken. Or 1 reception on 3 targets. The best wide receiver statistically was Quez Watkins, 2 receptions for 18 yards. Now, Dallas Goedert did his thing. Now you bring in A.J. Brown, target hog. I'm just not sure you're going to need to look at Devonta Smith all that much in this matchup versus the Lions, who we think are going to be a better team. But Philly, a lot of people are, I don't know if you saw this the other day, but they are the most betted team to win the NFC.
Yes. I mean,
so
of course, they have an amazing team.
So they should be able to have this game in hand, and they're a dominant run team. So I'm going to take the lower there. I wish that line wasn't moved, but here we are. It is what it is. And now we're looking at Trey Lance for my third Hickams. I am going higher
He's
than
going with his boy.
38 higher than 38.5 rushing yards for Trey Lance. Okay, check this out. Let's look at all 3 games that Trey Lance played last year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he played just one half versus Seattle, and he hit that number. Okay, 7 attempts, 41 yards. He had a start versus Arizona where he had 16 attempts for 89 yards. And then he had a start versus Houston where he missed the mark, 8 attempts for 31 yards. But what's important there is there's not a single game under 7 attempts. Not a single game where he has started or played a half under 7 attempts. So in 2 of 3 games, he hit higher than this mark. I will take it. 38.5 rushing yards. To me, that feels like a very comfortable mark. I more see him getting around 45 to 50-ish. So that feels like something that is very comfortable for me. And for my 4th pick, why don't we go to a player that you love a lot, Badake?
I'm listening.
Evan Ingram.
Oh, my goodness.
Ingram.
That is nasty.
It is nasty, but you know what's not nasty? Him hitting higher than 2.5 receptions. 2.5 receptions? Last year, Dan Arnold was the tight end, basically, to own in Jacksonville. He had higher than 2.5 receptions in 4 of 6 healthy games for Jacksonville. Ingram last year in New York had higher than 2.5 receptions in 10 of 15 games. That is 67% of the time. I know it's a different team, but he was brought in during free agency for a reason. Both him and Christian Kirk instantly become the best pass catchers on this team, even though he's not very good at catching the ball. But the best weapons outside of ETN, the running backs on this team. And you got a head coach in Doug Peterson who is notorious for using his tight ends. Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert, all have had huge careers under Doug Peterson. So 2.5 receptions, I'll take my chances. If you watch preseason like I did, Evan Ingram was being heavily targeted along with Christian Kirk. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the higher number there. And then I imagine we might have this one the same, but I just couldn't say no to higher than 3.5 receptions for Cole Kmet. I don't know if you have that number. We'll find out. But to me, that was like easy money. Again, it's Cole Kmet and it's Darnell Mooney. And you're probably going to be in a competitive game, if not down versus the Niners. Cole Kmet's the clear tight end 1 on this team. He had higher than that number in 8 of 17 games last year, which is only 47%. But Jimmy Graham was there. Jimmy Graham is gone. Okay, so this feels like free money, 3.5 receptions. He only has to get 4 receptions. So these are my 5 picks. I have some honorable mentions that we'll go through later that I wasn't able to fully commit to. But of course, we always put $10. The payout is $200.
As always. Come on, baby.
Do I want insurance today?
No.
All in. Absolutely not. All in, baby. That's my entry. I will share that over on the Discord, and hopefully you guys can share yours with us. But Badake, why don't you tell us what entries you've got today, what your pick'ems are?
Yeah, let's just start 100%. Let's just start off where you left off, Cole Kmet. That is my first hire. 3.5 receptions. There's no doubt about it that I am taking my brother Cole. If you do not know, he is my guy. Go check that out. Bunch of bold predictions. He's going to be heavily targeted with Justin Fields on the field. And this team is going to have to score and Justin Fields is going to have to throw the ball. There's no one else out there besides Darnell Mooney, like Zach said. Now let's go to another game where I believe could be very, very interesting. Give me Trevor Lawrence. I'm doing all higher, by the way. 15.5 rushing yards. Last year, he averaged 19.6 yards per game. He only rushed for less than 15 yards in 5 games, excuse me. So I feel really confident in that as well. Look, I know this offensive line gets better. I know this offense is different. I kind of believe in this Washington's front, Chase Young, if he does play, whatever the case may be. But you always see Trevor Lawrence, always struggling. This offense is going to struggle, in my opinion. It's going to struggle in the first game. Growing pains. Evan Ingram is probably going to drop a ball. He's, somebody can come off the edge. They're going to challenge. They're going to challenge Trevor Lawrence.
I do not have confidence in our defense, but I'm glad you do.
I guess I have confidence in Chase Young, who can definitely bring.
He's not going to be there.
If he's, that's what I'm saying. If he is going to be there, great. If he's not, then we can definitely figure it out. But I feel really confident in that. Let's go to another game that I feel, another guy, which is crazy because I've been telling you guys to avoid him all offseason. Give me higher than 4 receptions for Amari Cooper. I think this is easy for me. There is no one else that you know, Jacoby Brissett could be targeting outside of Amari Cooper. You have obviously Donovan Peoples-Jones, David Njoku. I'm not confident in Donovan Peoples-Jones. I am a little bit confident in David Njoku, but I mean, I didn't like any hires for David Njoku, and I think yes, J.C. Horn is going to be guarding Amari Cooper, but what's 5 receptions? 5 receptions for he's probably going to have a bad day, but I do believe he will hit higher than 4 receptions. I mean, I think this is super easy for me. Okay. My next guy. Let's go to the Chiefs. Huh? Let me go to the Chiefs. You got to really scroll down here for the Chiefs. Give me Patrick Mahomes, and I'm going higher as well. And this is the one that I am taking a risk on. 50-50 games with Patrick Mahomes for rushing for 21.5 rushing yards. Once again, 50-50. I did the research. But the Cardinals, this defense should be a high-scoring game. He's going to be struggling with either Juju, Sky Moore. This backfield, they're not going to rush the ball. I don't believe in Clyde. I don't believe in Ronald Jones. All these guys probably will crumble, in my opinion. So I believe Patrick Mahomes will rush for more than 21.5 rushing yards. A little bit of a risk. But, I mean, we're going all in here, right? Yeah. We're going all in here. We scroll all the way down here. Once again, I'm all going all higher. Give me higher 36.5 attempts for Justin Herbert, playing a divisional game at the what's it called? The Stardome? What's it called? The Dark Hole, something like that.
There's a lot of got a lot of names.
something like that. But historically,
the Death Star.
The Death Star. Historically, this matchup is really big. Last year, we saw how it kind of all started off with that Sunday night game or Monday night game, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Look, I feel really confident in Justin Herbert coming in with another year. We saw what he did, over 65% of 36.5 passing attempts per game last year. I feel confident in this. Herbie's going to come out slinging. I mean, the QB2 in Dynasty, the QB2 in probably your Superflex startups. And the last but not least, oh, wait, that's it.
I'm going to say that's 5.
that's 5. So, once again, Cole Kmet, 3.5. Trevor Lawrence, all higher, by the way. 15.5 rushing yards for Trevor Lawrence. Amari Cooper, over 4 receptions. Patrick Mahomes, once again, the little bit risky one, 21.5 rushing yards higher. And then Justin Herbert, 36.5 passing attempts. Give me the higher on that. I feel really confident in this. I'm going to submit it, as you can always see here. Submit. Right. There it is. And once again,
submitted.
We will share that link with you guys as well.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about some honorable mentions, some guys that made it really hard for me not to choose them. And one was Cordero Patterson. Yesterday, so this has changed. Yesterday, it was 18.5 receiving yards. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at that thinking, oh my, like he has to hit over 18. Today, it's 22.5. Mm-hmm. So, take that with however you want to. Mac Jones, I thought higher. I think he's going to throw an interception. I mean, that Miami defense is vastly underrated. Right. Xavier Howard's on the outside. They don't have a lot of weapons. And I think that their offense is going to be really good. So we could see a scenario in which Mac Jones needs to throw the ball a lot. And I think that could lead to an interception. Now, that Jags game, man, I just wanted to bet on everything. I mean, 5 receptions.
You saw
Christian Kirk.
Man.
Christian Kirk had 8 targets in a half in the preseason. He had 5 receptions in a half in the preseason. I wanted to hit that. That sounds weird. Travis Etienne yesterday, 20.5 receiving yards. Maybe we need to release these earlier for people to take advantage of before these lines move.
Maybe.
And then Baker Mayfield, I don't know who that is. Baker Mayfield. There we go. I think he's going to throw an interception. So I think that's something that you can either bet higher on. If you think he's going to be clean, you can bet lower on. But those were honorable mentions for me. Do you have any honorable mentions, guys, that made it really hard for you not to choose?
I thought of Jonathan Taylor, over 28 rushing attempts, or higher than 20.5 rushing attempts. I feel really confident in that. Another guy I thought could be really good is Daniel Jones, higher than 0.5 interceptions.
Yes.
I mean, that's
not a bad one.
That's easy money for everyone out there. I think that's the only ones I can really think of. Oh, yeah. There is one more. Sorry. That's Sunday night. Let's wait for Sunday night or the Monday night game. Sorry.
Okay.
Let's wait for the Monday night game because I think we're going to do another one unless we want to talk about Monday night.
Oh, I thought this was for the entire weekend.
Okay. Well, sure. Let's do Monday night then. Dalton Schultz, over 5 receptions. I feel really confident in that.
Okay, yeah.
This is should be a high scoring game. Monday night at home, Dalton Schultz, no doubt for sure. Over 5 receptions for Dalton Schultz. So I feel really confident there.
Versus Tampa Bay, I mean,
either 5 receptions or not, or over or higher, 9.55 fantasy points. One of those are going to hit.
It's harder to find lowers, isn't it? I mean,
it is harder
you want to root for players.
Exactly. I don't think that's what's fun.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, these are our pick'ems. We would like to know in the comments below what your favorite pick'em is, favorite stat that you are betting higher or lower on. And obviously, keep in mind, it's your money. Do whatever you want with your money.
It's my money. I need it now.
Can't say that enough. But join our Discord. Again, our sign-up code is LAND, LAND.
That's right.
That does help the channel out if you use it. And obviously, it helps you out because you get your deposit matched up to $100, 100 buckaroos. So if you end up doing your pick'ems, put them in our Discord under the UnderDog pick'ems section.
Come on, baby.
And let's see if we all win together. I'm sure there's going to be some scenarios where we lose. But the way I think about it, Badake, all right, I do $10 a pick'em. I go all out. Now, you guys can do 2 pick'ems. You can do 3 times, 6 times, right? I only need to hit once on the year, really, to return my money.
Exactly. Which is so good. And imagine.
Then that is exactly what it sounds like to be a betting addict.
And that's what I was about to say. When you have a problem, surely there's a number on the bottom of the screen. Please call that number.
Oh my God. All right, guys. Comment down below. Let us know how you're going with these pick'ems. We really like them. Hope you do too.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos,
watch it.
You can also subscribe
right now
if you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/fantasylandfam.